schools, what have y'all done for us lately? And if there's no answer, the only thing we owe them.
Good evening. Welcome, family. Tonight, and as they say, the freaks come out on Friday. So tonight we're going to have a discussion in reference to President Trump. Good evening, everyone in the chat. Thanks for joining us. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. Make sure you guys hit that like button for the channel to be promoted out. We believe that we are being suppressed, and the only way that we can stop the suppression is to like, share, and subscribe. However, tonight is Friday night, and we will have a discussion, you guys, in reference to a 34-count guilty verdict in New York by Donald J. Trump. And we want to ask the family, and we got Dr. Short here and myself, and just all of us put our collective heads together and ask ourselves, was Trump set up? If we really go back and look at it, this case, hush money, it's been called the hush money case, and so forth, so on. So we want to have a discussion. We want to have a honest talk. What is the threat of Trump? What is the reason why they have relentlessly persecuted this man, former president, guy who's actually in the lead in all the polls of being our next president? This 34 count conviction, he can receive no time probation. The max that he can receive for all 34 counts is 4 years. These are felony convictions. Felony convictions will disqualify him from being able to vote, but they do not disqualify him from the presidency. So we're going to have this discussion, and I hope that the family will engage, because we want to really be able to put our collective minds together and ask ourselves, how does it affect the family? How does it affect V1? What's the impact on our lives? Does it have anything to do with us? I believe that when you do have a president candidate who potentially could become the next president, it does have an effect on us. So, what's up, Dr. Short? They doing it again?
No, I just want, something sort of happened on StreamYard. I tried to use an old broadcast stream to come on, so not deal with the rigmarole, and all of a sudden it told me the stuff had been deleted out of YouTube. It's crazy. You can enter all the stuff in StreamYard and it'll disappear on my stream, but it'll show up on YouTube, but yet I can't find it. It'll show up maybe 2 or 3 days later after I wrote it, but I couldn't find it just before the broadcast, so I may have had to do 4 or 5 inputs to get one to stick. So
yeah, I know that StreamYard just was sold actually about 3 weeks ago.
Ooh.
And they've been having a lot of technical issues going on.
Ooh.
And because I'm in the StreamYard group, and they basically been trying to deal with the technical difficulties that they've been having.
Ooh.
Yeah, they were sold like 3 weeks ago.
Okay, I wonder, this stuff has been incredibly it's been wackier. Stuff would just disappear. And I'm thinking, come on. So people wonder why you're late. And so thank you for answering. I was trying to figure out, it's gotten much, much, much harder to do stuff on StreamYard.
Something, I think their servers are having an issue with the traffic that they usually been able to upheld. I mean, a lot of, you know how these companies are when you sell, and then
people start being cheap and trying to save money and don't want to pay people, and they fire and get rid of all the good people and try to bring in cheap people that gave them blowjobs or whatever. Okay, well, sorry, we had to have that technical conversation. A lot of you watching, we only encounter these problems just at the point of broadcasting. And I've experienced this even in television studios when I would do stuff with Press TV on a regular basis. If I had a show, all of a sudden nothing would work. Or my segment wouldn't be, it couldn't come on. So anyway, hello to everybody. And yes, my shows, I see my screen is freezing. Trust me, my folks have been complaining about the stuff in StreamYard. I want to say to you guys, my show is called The Legal Lynching of Donald Trump. The Legal Lynching of Donald Trump. And this is a legal lynching. And Donald Trump, he's being harassed on the Dr. King, Malcolm X level. And he's white. My comment is, if white billionaires aren't safe, god damn, we're in bad shape. And we've gone from the good old USA to the degenerate new USSR, Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. This is some Russia type shit. And everybody should be upset. You know, I don't mind if you hate Donald Trump. And there are a lot of people, a lot of black folks, forgive me, a lot of black folks have their heads up their ass. They do. Cornel West is not going to win. Bobby Kennedy Jr. is not going to win. Right? The only persons are going, it's either can steal it for Biden or Trump's winning with the landslide, which he probably did last time. In reality, people who hijacked the country, who started trying to hijack the country 8 years ago, are trying to hijack it for another 4. And Donald Trump, next to Paul Robeson and people like this, is one of the most harassed persons in history. Donald Trump is an honorary black American radical because he's getting screwed with like Paul Robeson or what's his name, Robert Williams. I mean, this is what they tend to say for black folks. Whoever Donald Trump pissed off, they've decided, and I saw this years ago, they're giving him nigger treatment. And it doesn't mean that you have to fall in love with Donald Trump, but you have to wonder why people that hate you and I so much hate him too. Normally, the racists, the bigots could all get together and say, you know what, we really hate each other, but we hate niggers worse. We really just hate black people because they exist. They can't do anything right. Even if I was raised by one that drank their milk, I'm still mad at all black people, right? I've seen people that just, they work so hard to hate, right? So they can come together in hatred of black people and the other, and they can work out their European tribalism. But in the case of Donald Trump, damn, these people are determined to be angry with another white person. They're not recognizing the social contract that white people at all times must be united and on the same page in order to deal with the minorities and the blacks, but in particular the blacks. And so, what is it about Donald Trump that they need to give him treatment like a Black Panther? And he's white, and he's in the money, and he's in the business, and He even hangs with what is it that makes he's been the people that back him are a lot of them are rich Jewish people. Why are these people so determined to destroy him? I mean, it's all of these trials. There's just so many. And it's puffed up. And the thing that makes me angriest is I keep seeing stupid ass black sorority bitches being the judges, targeting Trump. These same sorts of no good pork chop feminist assholes or assinettes who are against the Second Amendment. And mind you, black folks have been terrorized for centuries because they lack the means to defend themselves. These same no good judicial whores keep kicking the hornet's nest of white masses, the hornet nest or the killer beehive of the white masses who love Donald Trump. And all the while, the people that they say the masses that hate black people, this is what these no good Greek letter divine swine monsters that are in this conspiracy with the other globalists that hate Donald Trump. They're against black firearm ownership, and yet they've decided to be the visible face of making war on the popular choice of white Americans. It's setting us up for mass death. And these people don't care. Maybe they can all move to Ghana. Maybe they can all move to another country. But the rank and file of us, if you've got old pets, you can't go nowhere. This is home. Now, what happens if you make all of these people with their 400 million guns and a 500-year track record with receipts that they don't necessarily dig us? You're going to piss them off, yet you're against black unity, you're against reparations, you're against black empowerment. You want all of our doctors white, all the teachers white, so we're at the mercy of people on every kind of level, and then you want to kick their killer beehive when they have a once-in-a-lifetime leader that they can resonate to. What the fuck, hoes? And so then move it to the trial. When he was in government, what was it? The little caveman, Geico caveman looking congressman, Al Green, and California fault line, wrinkled face, Maxine Waters. Every time you turn around, it's somebody black attacking Donald Trump. You got the lady that looks like a pit bull, the one from St. Louis. I mean, one thing she did with the money, wherever she got it from, she did do a makeover. I mean, she's one of the few black women that looks better since she got into Congress than when she started. Usually, the shit starts going down real hard. Like Barbara Lee was kind of cute. Now they look like a stale version of the Grinch that stole Christmas, and she's not going to have that seat anymore. Why are we participating in illegal lynching of a man that tens of millions of people love? And these are people crazy enough to like try to go into the government, see the power for their man. What do we black folks get fired up enough about to take a stand? Don't say missing children. Don't say gentrification. Don't say reparations. Don't say eugenics. Don't say mass incarceration. Don't say the loss of black farms. Don't say there's one thing that we get passionate enough to go against the seats of power in this country, and yet you want to pick a fight with people that will. God damn you. All of you. And it isn't because I think Trump's perfect. I've never said that in all my conversations, Q. And yet they act like Biden is perfect. The man who's put millions of black people behind bars. A lot of stuff that you hate in life, black Americans. You goddamn hypocrites, you idiots. All the division of who removed the men from the family by the millions? Who criminalized the black population in this country unlike any other? Joe Biden. And now you, first, by the way, a lot of black men can't have guns, have issues getting jobs, have issues with everything, have health problems for having been locked up. I mean, their kids went foster care and got molested and raped, now they're trans. All of these illnesses in our community that come from a family under attack. It was always under attack, but that little bastard has spent a half century kicking our asses. And you've got these ugly sorority bitches on these courts, and or they're prosecutors like that moist looking Bragg. He almost has the right last name. Hint, 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 hint. All of these people waging war on Donald Trump. For what? Where's Donald Trump outside of the Central Park? But it wasn't just him. A lot of people were sick and tired of what was happening in Central Park and in New York. And I want to say something. Because Donald Trump, I remember being very angry with Donald Trump back when the Central Park thing happened. Yes, I was. But I want to remind people, Donald Trump took almost all the money he had in the world to try to bring the city of New York back for his own reputation. And so all of his money was on New York. All of his money. And the idea of white women getting beaten and or raped, whatever they did to the lady, near where he's been spending hundreds of millions of dollars, it represents a loss of his life's work and his investment. And there were other people who felt the same way. A lot of people say, why did Donald Trump run his mouth so much? Because Donald Trump got more tax abatements and more breaks than practically anybody to do business in Lower Manhattan. Was it right? No. But do I understand? If anybody messed with anybody's money on this call, if you had hundreds of millions of dollars on the line and some stupid poor people of any color raped and tore up or beat and were terrorizing people near your property, you wouldn't care what was done to stop the problem. The same way black Americans are very silent when black career criminals get shot by the police, with the exception of this piece of shit called Floyd George. Typically, when they're career criminals who've been a problem in the neighborhood, when they go to jail, black folks quietly celebrate. When those young men were caught and framed, Donald Trump didn't know the prosecutor was crooked. Donald Trump and them wanted that problem solved. And he wasn't alone. You had a black mayor of New York named David Dinkins. Nobody black with power spoke out in favor of those young men. None.
Even the boy's father is the one that turned them in.
Nobody. And those young men had no damn reason to be in the park. They knew crazy stuff was going on in the park. They were young. They were stupid. And someone didn't say, hey, look, you're black. You will get the worst of everything if you even get assumed to be. Don't be out there. Lessons like that I got from my father and mother. There's some things they didn't get right, but you can't do what everybody else does. Be careful. The policeman may shoot you. Don't run from law enforcement officers. We hear about people shot every day running from the police. I'm not saying the police don't shoot the people that don't run, but they more often than not shoot the ones that run than those that don't run. So people who are all swolled up over the Central Park 5, when there was Central Park 7, 2 got off. Alton Maddox helped them get off. He could have gotten all of them off Why didn't David Dinkins, the others, lit Alton Maddox? Help the other 5. See,
Excuse me, Dr. Short. 1 second. Could you let the family know who Alton Maddox is and your relationship with him?
well, Alton Maddox, who's from Noonan, Georgia, was the black people's, one of the greatest black legal minds, never lost cases, stood up for everybody. He was righteous. Died 2 years ago, if I'm right, within the last 2 years. Alton Maddox would take on and would go up against the system. He had a devil-may-care attitude towards racism. He wasn't in the legal business for money. He was in the legal business. He was called the attorney at war. And alongside him, I've got to take a moment. Let me just take a moment for him. He was married to Leola Maddox, who they embraced me like a son. And I mean, what an honor for one of the greatest black attorneys and his wife. I mean, to bring me up to New York and let me speak in the organization and pay me. And if people didn't give me enough money, make them give me enough money. What an honor to be known, for him to know my voice over the phone, for him to and now and then ask me questions. This man was a legal genius. All of the laws that you see and all the things that prisoners do to get out of jail, the black prisoners, the prison lawyers, is all based on Alton Maddox. Legal jurisprudence. He is international, whether people recognize it or not. Alton Maddox was an uncommon hero. Donald Trump respected and knew Alton Maddox. In fact, I'll tell you something Alton Maddox told me, and it may or may not be true. Are y'all listening? This is what the late Alton Maddox told me, and he probably told others. I was asking him about Donald Trump in 2015 because I was angry with Donald Trump over Central Park. I was really angry. I don't know. That's probably why I had the heart attack all these years, being mad about stuff. Mad about this. Mad about Tawana Brawley. Mad about Katrina. Angry about everything that's happening and not being able to do much other than be angry about it. So I remember talking to Alton Maddox back in 2015 when Donald Trump first started running for president. And I called him up and I went off about Donald Trump. Donald Trump's racist. Donald Trump's a monster. Damn Donald Trump. Right? And he's sitting. I'm expecting him to like cheer me on. He's gonna tell me, yeah, you're right, Donald Trump, and I'm saying all this stuff about Donald Trump that you hear, and I don't hear anything. This is Alton Maddox. Fearless, black and proud Alton Maddox. Right? And he says, Brother Short, you live in Washington. And I like you, Brother Short. But, I was born in Georgia, but I live in New York. And one of the people I happen to know, I know very well, is Donald Trump. I used to live in Donald Trump's buildings. Donald Trump has always been respectful and kind to me. He's never given me any trouble. There's nothing I can't ask Donald Trump for. And I'm like, remember, I come in with guns blazing. And this is like one of my heroes telling me Donald Trump isn't so bad, man. Donald Trump isn't against black people. I know this. Donald Trump has to play the game. Then he proceeds to say, Donald Trump is afraid of me. And I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, I'm listening. You can tell me. Okay. Says, you know what? Did you know Donald Trump was not white? And I'm like, I'm going to listen because he's an elder. His story that he said was that Donald Trump's father killed the mother of Donald Trump, or had her killed, because she got impregnated by a black man. And that's why Donald Trump is so tall and so big, and why Donald Trump's, this woman that's raised him, didn't want him around, sent him off, and couldn't control him. And there didn't seem to be any love lost between him and his mother. Have you ever noticed Donald Trump, you never hear him talk about his mom? Are you Q?
Yeah.
You hear him talk about his mother? No, never. And he said that Donald Trump's father, who he also knew that Donald Trump, for other people, was an illegitimate black son born by the white woman that he killed for betraying him. And Donald Trump therefore didn't bother him, because Donald Trump knew he could mess him up by telling everybody that Donald Trump wasn't really white, and that Donald Trump is mixed race, and Donald Trump is passing. I'm not saying it's true, but Ultimatix isn't known for lying. And I'm going to tell you, look at Donald Trump Jr., how dark his hair is, and how he's olive complected, and yet his mother was what, Scandinavian or something, or she's Eastern European, and yet look at how dark Donald Jr. is. I know black folks from Louisiana and Virginia that look like Donald Trump Jr. Look at how tall. I know this is a German thing, but I'm just trying to say to you, if you start looking at Donald Trump's life, no matter what you say, and he seems to always find a way to be around black people of all types all the time. If you really know white people who hate us, and it's a lot, they don't want anything at any time to do with anybody black ever.
I think Dr. Short, and I've been meaning to say this, because I think that a lot of times what we do on the internet, people don't really understand that type of hatred when somebody in the dominant society hates you.
Yeah.
When they really hate you,
right,
they're not going to be around you.
At all.
They're not going to do business with you.
No.
And they don't need to fake it. They're not going to fake it.
They can't fake it. They hate too much. So.
And if in any opportunity they got to put their foot on your neck or take you up out of here, they're going to do it.
So I want to say again, other than the Central Park stuff, and other than the apartment stuff that everybody does, and they still do, Donald Trump seems to be the only big real estate person I've heard of who's been sued for racial discrimination in a major metropolitan area, when that is the policy. In fact, the Federal Housing Authority, which undervalues its policy, causes black people to lose a minimum of 1/3 of their house equity value because of their skin color. How that doesn't outrage black people. And yet they're tripping off of Donald Trump, who lost in court, who settled in court, who paid his debt to society. They're talking like it's still going on. And Joe Biden, who's done all kinds of horrific things to black people, has never even had to acknowledge it or say he was sorry. Right? Instead,
if you don't vote for Biden.
Yeah, we're not black, we don't vote for Biden. And so forth, and so forth, and so forth. Back to Trump. Trump used to lend money interest-free to black businessmen. Trump has been known for giving housing and help and cash under the table to all kinds of black people. It may be quid pro quo, but the real hater whites, there's absolutely nothing. I grew up with people who really hated black folks. I really get it. If their child had an argument with a black kid in school, and that kid didn't beat the black kid's ass or win, the family would relocate to an area where their child would not have to be around black kids. Period. Can you imagine your whole family moving because you had a situation in school? No.
And if the black kid wins the fight,
Oh yeah,
the principal gonna lose the job.
yeah. The principal's going to lose the job. They're going to get the teacher fired. They're going to get the father of that child fired. They're going to go full tilt to punish everyone black has to be punished for even one thing happening. If they imagined it happen, everyone has to pay. Donald Trump doesn't fit in that category. By the way, I just got a message, y'all, from Donald Trump's friend just wrote me. Let me see what he said. I don't know if I can even do that, can I? Okay, I just got anything. By the way, those judges that are attacking Trump up in New York, at least one of them is a Delta. The 5 judges reviewing his case. I'm telling you, black folks of the Greek letter, if white people ever find out that the boule was involved in bothering Trump, the way that they blame black people for everything, black Greeks don't know how hard it doesn't matter how much you've cooned against us. If they ever find out that you tried to take down their once in a lifetime leader, there are going to be RICO cases against Greeks for human trafficking, for all kinds of stuff. We're going to see a lot of black folks in Greek letter societies get arrested and sent to jail. A lot. And y'all brought this on yourselves. Y'all brought this on yourselves. Now let me just say this. Donald Trump was friends to all the black celebrities. So, I mean, you know, think of it this way. When Donald Trump won the presidency, practically no people in Hollywood would have anything to do with Donald Trump. I'm talking about white celebrities. So if you compare and think about the fact that Donald Trump has black celebrity friends, but practically no white celebrity friends, what does that say? Even though black celebrities are not our leaders, it does say this person doesn't mind spending, even if they're entertained, there's something about black folks they don't mind. They've had black girlfriends, black employees, black security, black drivers. They've been surrounded by certain sorts of people. I'm not making them exceptional. I'm simply saying an extreme white racist wants nobody black, not even shining their shoes or mopping the latrine. They want a world free of even the presence of black people. That's not Donald Trump, but yet that's the way the media is portraying him. And a lot of black folks are acting as if Donald Trump is like Joe Biden. But yet ask yourself, who are Joe Biden's black friends and associates? You can't name any, because he doesn't have any outside of his political job. Because black people are irrelevant to Joe Biden. And Delaware is the second or third largest black population of any state in the country. So there's no way you can be in politics in Delaware and not have to deal with black people. Remember, there were like 5 black pastors that were old as hell that endorsed Biden. You've never seen any outspoken black support in Delaware for Biden. None of the black people endorsing Joe Biden are outside of the Democratic Party or outside of the liberal media, meaning he has no relationship on any level with black people. And yet he's cool, and Donald Trump, there are oodles of black people, athletes, stars, painters, it says to me, nah, he's not perfect. He's definitely flawed, but not nowhere near as racist or bigoted as Biden. In fact, Biden has let black people know how much he hates them by letting 15 million people in this country and replacing us like this never happened under Trump. Not for 1 minute. Donald Trump's policies started making certain that American-born people could get in fact, let me just talk about this for a second. The despicable black elite, you filthy nigger professionals, which is all you are, they don't care about black folks who work in construction or drive Uber or have the gig jobs. They only care about the top 1% of black people. Maybe y'all got nothing from Donald Trump, but I don't believe that. But the bottom black folks, in fact, how is it that Biden could give Trump could give stimulus checks for COVID and Biden refused? Who refused to let the people be set out in the streets? It was Trump. Who got rid of that policy? Biden. Who's homeless in greater numbers? Blacks. We got people dropping dead every day. Nobody wants to admit it's from these damn you-know-whats. Who tried to hold up on pushing that? And who aggressively tried to make certain it was in our neighborhoods? And all of us have funerals every goddamn week of dead family members, friends, and associates. Nobody knows why. I want to remind everybody, you can go and do your research. I don't need you to believe me because I'm legit. Why does the American Medical Association say that that hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin work now, but if Trump mentioned it, he was crazy? How many people are sick now? How many people know that Donald Trump was willing to make ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine available to save, in particular, black lives? I want to remind you, my name is on the letter. So I don't care. I don't care what people think. I really don't give a damn. I really don't respect ignorant, emotional, foolish Negroes that don't do their research. You guys are scum. I don't care about your degrees or the debt that you incurred getting them. Donald Trump has not been an enemy to the black American people. He may be awkward and trying to get along with or talk to, and in order to be president, he had to get his votes from somewhere. He may have gotten it from an element of white folks that you may not like, but when he got in power, he did not go after us. How many folks got out of jail? Who came up with this First Step Act to give people a chance when they came out of prison? How many of you watching this, black folks, who are completely stark raving mad about this Trump thing, realize that the prisons across the country were under lockdown when Biden was inaugurated because black men in prisons across the country wanted to riot when Trump was removed? If we say we're so down and our stupid ass dick hop music celebrates prisons and blacks going to jail, and if that's what we aspire to, then goddamn it, be consistent. Black prisoners' opinions that Trump was the better deal should count, and if not, you're all fucking liars. Since the jailbirds know everything and that's cool and we're sagging and black prisoners are what's happening today, the black prisoners say what's happening today is Donald Trump. How did black people outside prison not understand black people who are inside prison?
Oh, I gotta answer this comment. This is a good one. This is a challenge. This is a challenge for anybody in the chat, and it's not to say what you say in the chat could be wrong, but we're going to challenge you and you're going to challenge us. Name a policy that Donald Trump put in play as president that hurt you. Mandrera, you said that Donald Trump won after Asada Shakur on Pac's birthday. I'm from New Jersey. Asada Shakur has been #1 on their list since I've been alive, since that happened.
But it's even
It has
worse.
nothing to do with Donald Trump.
Wait a minute. The person that's saying that, first of all, tell them that they're stupid. And a lot of black folks think because they have an opinion and they have a mouth, like they have a rectum, that they're making sense. It was Obama that doubled the bounty on the head of Asada Shakur, not Donald Trump. Okay, so, please, shut the hell up. You don't know what you're talking about. It was Obama that went to Cuba and asked them to give him Asada Shakur. So you give a damn about Asada Shakur. Why didn't Biden pardon him? Why didn't Obama pardon Asada Shakur? Or for that matter, he wouldn't even pardon dead Marcus Garvey. All you liars, we're Black history, red, black, and green. Well, Obama felt red, black, and green deserved to be in jail. Y'all are liars. You don't do your research. You're all emotional, hormonal. Take some Midol and shut up.
You said look it up. Look, first of all.
No, we're not looking it up. That's why we have a show. Why not set up your show and see if people want to listen to you? They will blast you off the air. Because you don't know what you're talking about. Okay, and I don't take stuff like that. That person will get blocked on my channel.
No, I want them to do the research, and they'll look stupid because.
No, they're not going to do the research because they're comfortable being stupid. See, there's an arrogant stupidity in the black community. It's a disease.
Mandria, let me ask you a question, right? I won't block you, but I'm gonna ask you a question. Do you know anybody that's BLA? Do you know anybody that's BLA that you can call?
No, let's do
I got
better.
At least 3 people that I can call right now that's BLA.
I can do better.
So don't come on my page or this channel talking about that Asada Shakur stuff to me. I'm from New Jersey.
Yeah, but I can do better. Have they ever met Asada Shakur? And the answer is probably not. I have. Asada Shakur never said it. Who Asada Shakur said tried to set her up to be killed is Al Sharpton. And he's a Democrat, and your sorry ass probably supports him. Don't tell me she never said a thing about Donald Trump or anybody like that. She started talking about sellout black folks and racist white people. I don't like people who are in their emotions.
Tell you, man, one thing that we need to do is we need to really just think about artists or as black people, this allegiance to this Democratic Party that
allegiance to either party. I'm not asking anybody to worship one party or the other. I am saying you should do your reading. Donald Trump is not my problem. Let me get this bastard off here. I don't like when people come in, racist white folks come in with a lot of stupid comments. I don't go into their chats and insult people. I go in and I listen. I asked for Harvey Butler, Trump 2024, baby. We won it. That's right, Trump 2024. And don't let Mr. Harvey Butler, don't let the racist white people push the little bit of black support away that Trump has. We've gone through hell telling the truth. We don't need bigots like that dude I just deleted. Okay, no, I just have to say to that person that he's gone. I don't want to hear from people. In fact, you know what? He can get one of them tiki torches from UVA, light it, and sit on it.
Dr. Short,
Mm.
let me ask you. So what? Donald Trump said the hush money was basically he paid a lawyer for his lawyer's fees. This is all he did.
But wait a minute. I don't have to do much because I didn't follow the trial. But the clear thing is, what's the guy's name? What's his lawyer's name?
Cohen?
Yes. What does that mean? It means he's Jewish. And Cohen is from like the priestly high Hasidic Jews. He's a crook. He's a perjurer. He's a liar. He admitted to stealing from Donald Trump and being angry with Donald Trump. And he's made $4 million lying against Donald Trump. That was the main witness in this trial, is the person that admitted, I lied, I cheated, I stole.
The star witness.
The star witness has admitted to lying, cheating, stealing, and he's believable. Look, if you want to make Donald Trump guilty, then you also need to say that James Earl Ray and everybody else that's been framed, they deserved it. We need to understand that justice is not fair and that Donald Trump isn't being treated fairly. And in particular, what I have a problem with is that they are using black faces as the whether it's that slut, tramp, grifter, whore lawyer, prosecutor, Fanny Clitis. Every time you look on TV, it's some despicable, cartoonish looking black person that's doing everything, breaking the law in collusion with dirty, grifter, white-collar, white criminals. And everybody knows, just like the little racists that come in my thread, these people walk around looking for a justification or an excuse to hate, harm, or destroy black folks, because that's part and parcel of what is part of this country, right? Anybody that understood that and understands that knows that there's certain things we ought not do. Whether it's not wanting Malcolm X to make light of John F. Kennedy's assassination, saying the chickens came home to roost, whereas that may have felt good. If you're getting money from right-wing people under the table and you're the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, you don't want J. Edgar Hoover down on you. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad already got thrown in jail by the FBI in the early 1940s. Before Malcolm ever went to jail, Elijah went to jail. With the FBI and these people after them, you don't want to encourage the system to come after you. I'm not saying it's right. I personally don't have a problem with what Malcolm said, but we need to understand when we say something, there are consequences to our words. Now back to Trump. All of these trials have one thing in common. It is clear that a weaponized judiciary has targeted anybody connected to Donald Trump across the country. And everything is being done to smash his presidential bid. This is obvious.
Do you guys in the chat understand that right now Donald Trump is leading in every poll? And after he was found guilty, within the first 6 hours, his campaign raised over $35 million.
And it's large donations, 300,000, 800,000. And by the
people are speaking how they feel about this man.
There's no way that this can be done. This is a lynching. This is a lynching of a white billionaire. If they can lynch him, what can they do to us? What more will they do to us?
And you guys in the chat, Dr. Short, myself, have been conversating for a little bit over 3.5, 4 years. And one of the things, I'll let you guys privy to something. One of the things that he told me prior to Donald Trump getting kicked off of what was Twitter was we have to understand in legal terms what is called precedent. When they started censoring, at the time, President Trump on social media, a lot of people laughed, a lot of people thought it was cute. It opened up the door for them to censor you and I.
Right.
And now they just relentlessly, they don't, and I'm not even speaking about people that I particularly like or listen to. It's, for those of you like Sean King, he has no social media presence no more because he censored, he spoke out about Palestine. So we got to understand that when things like this happen, and like B-Mix said, when Joe Biden, out of all people, said nobody's above the law, when you start getting censored, when they start using the law as their bully pulpit to prosecute you for paying somebody to shut up about having sex, let's just say if that's true. Like, come on, y'all. Like, that's important. Something that really is that hasn't even disqualified him.
But wait a second. Why is it that Hunter Biden can have kiddie porn on his computer, have his dick in M&Ms, use drugs with minors, and the whole government defend and lie and say it's not true? And now this case in Delaware right now is the jury's going to be allowed to see the pictures with him naked with children, and everything else is going to be admitted in this case. And that's not a big news story. Now, Trump, if it's two adults, and the woman's in adult entertainment, so she likes bouncing around her big boobs. And if Donald Trump hit it, which he said he didn't, Trump says a lot of things he didn't do, it's 50-50. Okay, I don't know. She's a sex worker that's done porn, and he likes big boobs. There's a 50% chance he hit it. But the question is, should everybody that has an affair be harassed? I'm not saying I'm for it. I'm trying to say Bill Clinton did stuff. Bill Clinton raped people and didn't get this. I mean, the Kennedys had Marilyn Monroe offed. People have done way, way, way more.
Bill Clinton's brother brought the drugs in your community from his airstrips.
I mean, why is this? Hillary Clinton and them were involved in human trafficking of black children, and you love them in Haiti. I mean, what's it with you guys? Why such thick-headedness, black folks, that we're not willing to look at evil wherever it is? Why is it only just one party? I didn't know that white supremacy was limited to the Republicans. The way that a lot of black folks think the Democrats all love us, and the Republicans all hate us.
And you know, Dr. Short,
it's crap.
The interesting thing is that you would think that majority of us that are black, majority of us that have some type of conscious thought, would want less government out of their affairs. But the party that we run to, that we have this blind allegiance to, wants more government regulations.
Well, let me give you a DC government regulation. Do you know they almost guarantee that every polling place will have a transgender? Why does it have to be a policy? I mean, why? I'm not attacking the trans, but you mean I've got to have one around? I've got to? I've got to teach your children that they can get their weenie or their boobs hacked off without their parents' consent. They're beyond intrusive. They're degenerate monsters targeting children. They want to kill the babies before they're born, and they want to mutilate the ones that are born. And I'm sorry, the masses of silly black folks, maybe it's a single mother shit. This is why I hate feminism. The confusion in the black community is linked to feminism. I'm sorry, we have too much hormonal, toxic estrogen in our community. Everything's how I feel, how people, and that's right. And these same people, to show you how this feeling goes, they're twerking everywhere and making stripping. You know, there are people who fought for the dignity of black women. I mean, actresses and everybody that went through. And these stupid folks, typically from single parent households with the ugly wigs and the bizarre hair and all this, it's just nasty, it's vile, it's ugly, it's unattractive, it's repellent. It's worse than Donald Trump. And folks seem to think it's cute.
You guys in the chat, Brother Lone Wolf said, let me keep it 100. We can't trust the Black Leadership Collective. Monkey B1 said, state sanctioned hood rats and their offspring of the Lead Point community.
Mm-hmm. And I have this from
not get on board until their unearned benefits are cut off.
That's right. Sister Star, she's one of our big supporters and moderator and all of that. I hope that she emails me. Sister Star, I need to talk to you about this WASI speech because I got Sister Miriam. We got to work out how we can bring the righteous women to the fore. I always remind people I was honored to meet Rosa Parks. I was honored to be an adopted grandson to Irene Morgan, one of the mothers of the civil rights movement. That's an honor. I was honored to be an adopted nephew to Kalia Clark, Mother Kalia Clark, the black woman who helped create the Selma Project, out of which we got the Voting Rights Act. It was an honor when she was her last days. One of the things that I would do, I would be asked to call and make fun of John Lewis. I made her happy. It was an honor for me to know Pam Africa in Philadelphia. There are righteous black women that you can't help but get behind. We want to push them to the fore. Okay. I don't got a problem with a woman that's intelligent, that knows what time it is. We need you, but we need the sorry ass ones to sit their asses down. The same way we want the faggotists to shut up. And there's something you can do other than dip in a pussy. How about work? How about start some industries? How about getting a vasectomy, since you don't want to be responsible? We want the responsible, intelligent black people to come forward. How about not being a Democrat? Be an independent. We always talk about, well, we want freedom, and then you go to the party of slavery. I didn't say be a Republican, be an independent. Wait until everybody figures out, and then you vote in the end. Or why not have a black party? However, you need to remember, the Republican Party started off as a black party. It got hijacked. We left. Let me tell you, the people who are really big in the Republican Party, if 15% of black folks registered as Republicans and didn't coon like the little despicable, nasty Republicans that are there, the really racist people would leave the Republican Party and become libertarians or something else. And then all of a sudden the Republican Party wouldn't be an instrument against us. We've refused to use our political leverage intelligently. It's like a seesaw. The black political thing is like a seesaw. You got a 900-pound person with a 2,000-pound ass.
And you got to realize that
and you've got a 100-pound person on the other end that's not balanced. You can't seesaw with a morbidly obese person. We can't get a political balance. And I'm not saying the political system will answer everything, but all businesses and everybody gets the government's community chest and access to the money that we all pay in as taxes. We don't get the benefit. Not only do we spend stupidly, we pay taxes and get no benefits from it. And no one talks about it. In fact, most Negroes run after Democrats who keep saying more taxes, which basically means give more money to people that hate you, Negroes.
Keep it. No, Dr. Short. I want to give reparations to Ukraine.
Reparations to Israel. Hello, brother DeAndre. Yeah,
Oh,
we're giving reparations to Israel, reparations to anybody, reparations to illegals, free health care to illegals, and yet it's known that black people have health disparities because of a lack of access. At the height of this disparity, they're giving this to illegals across the country.
and for those that don't know, you guys in the chat, I'm quite sure you guys are aware, but today, Manchin has registered himself as an independent. He left the Democratic Party.
Yeah, they should. Everybody should leave. You know, you sit down and you think this is the richest country in the world. We have all these needs, and the only thing that they want to offer us is the opportunity to kill our children or to mastecticize our daughters or castrate our sons. And as Biden says, y'all have to get behind the Hispanics. I hope he doesn't mean in terms of sodomy, although it might because he's that nasty.
Try going to get a breakfast sandwich from the store. You're paying $9-10 for egg, sausage, and cheese sandwich on the roll.
But you know what? Now that those jobs are in the hands of the illegals, they're paying decent wages, offering benefits that were never offered when I worked in McDonald's. That's why you're paying more, so they can put that. And they didn't. So they can pay those people a living wage to do fast food. That was never so. That was never unionized when our people worked in those places. As we've been driven out of all kinds of work, they've now made those living wage jobs.
And they even incentivized them, Dr. Short, by making sure that they get a card that's booted with $1,500 a month and have a scooter to get to and from.
Yes, to make certain that they can get to work, but it gets better. And you give them SNAP on top of the money benefits. So, and you know what? They don't have to work. And if you go to Aldi's and other places, you'll see Latino women with basket carts full of all the discounted food. They go through, they know, and buy up all of it, which means the only food that's left is the expensive food. And they have the time. They have the time. Not only that, they're making money doing sex work that no one's talking about. Sex work, drugs. Look, here in D.C., it's not reported. These people have a gang that go and get bobcats and take the ATMs from stores. And banks, and it's not discussed. Trust me. They'll talk about a black kid carjacking a car, which is horrible. But an ATM off of a bank, an ATM off of CVS? Are you kidding me?
And you guys, it ain't even, you don't even have to be affiliated with any news, right? Just look anything about the immigrants, the illegals, that's coming in. These are not families coming in. You don't see women and children coming in through the border. You see full age 25 to 40-year-old men who can be weaponized at any given moment. These are armies coming in the country.
Okay, I have to do a shout out. Brother Angry Black Man, and I don't know if anybody else sent a contribution, but I want to thank Brother Angry Black Man. In fact, let's stop for a second. Let's do some begging. Let's beg. Okay, I love begging. My dad's a preacher, so, and since Negroes don't like the gospel when you tell the truth, an honest black preacher has to be an equally good beggar. They'll give it to the person said, "Oh, God want me to look at your clitoris. Somebody's gonna show me the righteousness of God. It's shining through under your dress, sitting up in the front. Hallelujah!" Right? Those guys get paid. The people that tell black people about sin and social, man, I just wish you'd stop trying to help poor black people. Man, we're always going to be poor. Jesus said the poor will be with us always, and I'm going to fucking help. Right? We've got several things going on. One, you guys know, and I said it, I'm going to repeat it, Sister Star, I do want to hear from you. I want to hear from all of the sisters, Sister Devon, I want people. I want my group. We're going to have a Patriarch Summit in August, August 24th. We want to at least get 50 to 100 to 200 black men that are serious about the whole thing. Okay, oh my gosh, someone else gave. Thank you, Brother Frank. That's Brother Frank. Sister Star always gives. Someone just say thank you. No, you're not going to do no. Okay, no. Let me just say to you, we want to have as many black men begin to organize around real stuff. Why can't we police our own neighborhoods? What breaks my heart is that one of my mentors who died in January 2011, they helped set up the police forces. Do you know that black Americans showed the Inuits, the Indians, or the Aboriginal people of the Northwest Territories in Canada, that their police force was conceptualized by black Americans for them to be their own police instead of white Canadian policemen? And yet this same man couldn't get jobs or opportunities in America. He couldn't get it from the blue layer, from the white folks. Why aren't we the police? So we know people who know how to do policing. We know people who know about security. We know people that are farmers. We know people who know how to do stuff around finance. To begin to try to do with this Black Patriarch Summit what black men did after the Civil War, which is called the Convention Movement, to get people together to look at what they can do to solve real problems. Before you had a black Wall Streets, you had a convergence of black men at the end of the Civil War who were Republican, trying to look at farms, businesses, family. We want to try to get back to men not sitting on their hands and accepting feminism and the degeneracy of the Democrats and the others, and that we will take our communities back with God's help and with godly unity among the brothers. It has to start. So it's a call. Maybe everybody can't come. As we find out how many, we may have to stream it. It won't be the be all to end all, but it's the start. You can help us. Doesn't have to be everything. A gentleman that's a pensioner wrote me and says, I'm on a fixed income. I won't be able to give that much. And I said to him, whatever, however, whenever. Okay, there are people who send 5, like every so many days. They didn't have to do that, but that's what they do. If people sent 2, sit down and think right now, there's a minimum of maybe 50 people watching. If all of them sent 2, it'd be 100. If they all sent 10, it'd be 500. People don't have to do a whole lot. What we need to raise is about 7,000. We need about 1,000 to hold the building so we can use it all day. We want to give a little bit to the speakers. We want to make certain that we have a decent journal. We want to do some shirts and other stuff. And for people that are broke like me, and I would tell y'all, real stuff, when you're outspoken economically, they attack you. So like a lot of people, I'm an American with a disability. They've refused me 3 times. Unfairly, didn't even give me an examination. That's okay. I will prevail. But y'all need to know a lot of us work with very, very little. And we get more done than people with organizations that are well funded with grants and staff and so forth. The reason that some of us say and do what we do is I'm financed by people who are like me, who agree with what I'm saying. The only downside to that is many people agree, but very few put money on it. Most of the time people beef, man, this is so bad, this is so bad. So let's go and spend our money and develop another communities and complain about how bad stuff is when we get back with overpriced stuff that we don't need anyway. We've got to get out of that. And you know what? When I think about how we lavish, how Beyonce can sell $1,000 tickets, Dave Chappelle, $1,000 tickets, $1,000 just for people to say they were there, and people find us asking for a minor contribution. It doesn't compare. Whatever it is, if you go to the movies, and a lot of the movies aren't good anymore. If you watch it's just constant commercials, we're not doing that. We've got a GoFundMe. I put the link up. It went out in the announcement. I've already put, of the money received, I have to, first of all, I need to come up with 5. So I put 100 down, and I look to put another. And pretty soon, I would say, if people continue to give, I know I will have paid my part of the seed money. So I absolutely want people to drop it. I need to see. I don't care if I don't get what I asked for. If I got half of it, it's enough to deal with at least a significant amount. Chef and I think it's somewhere between 7 and 8. So I'm asking and he's asking. You can give it to him, Chef C, from the soil. You can give it to Randy Short through my GoFundMe, or you can send it to me through Cash App, because I just get it in Cash App and I flip it off to Chef as we accumulate money. We need it. We want it. We can go more full tilt the second we get like our first grand. I think right now, we've taken in 400. And I need to release another 100 to them, so it'll be 2. We're going to get there, but we need your help. On top of that, you can always, what is the old other brother's Cash App? Tell me what your Cash App is, Brother Q.
It's L Talk 5600.
L Talk
5600.
5600. And I'll put a $sign in front of it. And y'all need to know, between all of us, whether people think what we're doing is relevant or not. Let me see. I'm at 140,000 views. That's with me being sick and everything else, not even doing stuff as much as I need to. You've got what, 200,000? And Chef's got 600,000.
We actually, and I thank everybody in the chat that have been very, very supportive of all our channels. We've actually not have done a lot of content like we're supposed to.
Yes.
But just know, God willing, in the next 6 months to 18 months, we're going to try to turn it up.
Yeah, we're going to turn it up. This is why I'm doing this tonight, and I'm doing something tomorrow, and we're going to do something Sunday. And y'all will hear a lot more about the Patriarch Summit. I'm going to take a sabbatical from SALT, because we got to work on these black men, and then behind that, I got to work on these black women. The righteous black women need to be encouraged and supported and empowered, and we've got to do that. So my summer project will be Pat Talk and the Patriarch Summit, and of course I'll go back to my books. I have so many. I got another small one. If y'all really want to break down and know how the scams going on in the Middle East, check this book out. It's called Facts Are Facts. It's about $11. It's a cheap book you can get. It's on Scamazon, and it's not that long, and it just breaks down this guy named Benjamin Friedman. You may have heard of him. He was the person that explained how even before the Holocaust took place, they had this number that they were going to claim that 6 million Jews were killed. They were saying this in the 1920s. There's something about 6 million. I didn't say they didn't kill or did. I'm just saying somebody has this number 6. They really need this 6. There's 6.
Sure. I think he's watching on your broadcast, Frank Stoker. Tell him I said thank you for the donation.
Yeah, Frank Stoker or Stocker.
Yeah.
Frank Stocker, he says thank you. And thank you, Frank Stocker. I want to thank everybody for this, and I want to say something else to y'all. While I'm here, I today I didn't do it, but I think we're going to end this like maybe let's finish at 12. I'm gonna take a nap. I will be sending out communications regarding a Zoom town hall meeting with a third party presidential candidate. Randall Terry says he wants some black votes. I don't think he'll win, but I want the word that we want reparations said to everybody whenever anyone runs and they come to us. We talk about we need a crime bill. We're tired of our farmers being run off their land. We're tired of the illegal situation. We're tired of being targeted. You legalize marijuana, but you're still locking up black people for marijuana offenses. There's a range of things, and I don't even like weed. We've got to get our MFM. I mean that. So when you see MFM, you know it stands for motherfucking money. I'm dead ass serious. If they can do this for 12 million or 15 million illegal people in this country, not to mention the 20 million that were here before, stuff can be done for us and must be done. And we need to put the word reparations in people's mouth. Put the word reparation in your mouth. We want it. We're going to get it. We must have our checks. We earned it. Our ancestors earned it. Our high blood pressure comes from our oppression. And so many other things that we deal with. Black bottle medicine and so forth. I don't care what anyone says. And by the way, his vice presidential candidate, I know him. Everybody knows I'm for reparations. We must have our money. I would have an issue with people smoking crack on it, but you know what? Rich people smoke crack with the money they've stolen from our ancestors. I'm not saying it's right, but that shouldn't be a justification for us to not get. So there will be a town hall meeting Thursday on Zoom. I'm going to send that out. Be on the lookout for that. It's going to be from 8 p.m. until. I'll be sending that out. I'm going to send it to Brother Q. I'm going to send it to Chef C. I'm going to send it to Lone Wolf. I'm going to send it to Negro. It's going to go everywhere. We want people to show up and show out. And we want, if you have a channel, broadcast this off your channel. I will also be working with Sister Eve. I ask Sister Sean. I'm going to see if we can get a whole bunch of people. We'd like to get 1,000 people on a Zoom call with the presidential candidate. Just to show, and we all need to be saying we need our damn money. And trust me, it will reach, the whole world will know we're coming to the point where everybody's talking about this. Like we talk about rap music and we talk about sweet potato pie and everything else, that we need our damn money. And I don't care who understands it. And we also do not want tethers representing us. We don't want interlopers. We don't like Kamala Harris. What was my joke about Kamala Harris, y'all? I said that Kamala Harris always missed out on the debates when she was in college. You know why? She had an injury. Do you know what her injury was? She had sprained tonsils. We don't like that whore, Kamala Harris. She doesn't represent us. She's not a black American. She has no connection to us. She's despicable. She's disgraceful. In fact, she has an ostrich. You know, have you ever? My mother used to have an ostrich skin handbag. It has the same complexion as Kamala Harris. She doesn't do anything for me. Okay. My other question, I gotta do some Kamala jokes. What does Kamala Harris's family have in common with the firehouse? A lot of holes. My other joke was, what kind of inflation does Joe Biden hate? the age of consent. Let's stop. He's a nasty man. He's nasty. If Donald Trump were guilty of any of what Joe Biden, they would be on him. Joe Biden's family, they're criminals, all of them. Every single solitary one. And let me say this to you. If Donald Trump becomes president and they clean up the Justice Department, I want to warn all of you folks in secret societies, you need to know, some of us know people that know Trump. They're looking at doing RICOs on secret societies. They're going to round up a whole lot of Boule people and put them in jail with the people that they hate the most. Low-income black Americans who they've hated and destroyed. And you know what's interesting? The brothers in prison know about the Boule. It's going to be hell. It's the black people outside of prison that don't read. It's interesting. Our prisoners read, and the rank and file black folks are dumb as hell. Don't read. The Boule folks are going to catch hell. I mean, can you imagine Hakeem Jeffries and Rikers? Oh my God! I mean, his ears would be pulled long when they like banging him, man. It's just, he could probably hang glide on those things when we get out.
You guys in the chat, just remember, what this conversation about, it was Donald Trump set up.
Yeah, he's lynched. It's a lynching.
And ask you guys, a lynching, a political assault, and know that at the end of the day, this does not disqualify him from being president. So what really did they accomplish?
They accomplished what they thought. They seem to forget that Marion Barry was mayor of D.C. Before Marion Barry, there was a man named Boss Shepherd in D.C. He won when he was in jail. The people voted. He won in jail. They had to suspend home rule. They did everything. They locked him up, framed him, and says, okay, he's in jail. And he won with a landslide. Okay, every time they do something to Donald Trump, it makes me angrier. I mean, I see Donald Trump's flaws, but you don't have the right to do this to him. They're pushing people who are very concerned about the Constitution of this republic to a point where, folks, we're going to end up with some political violence in this country, which I don't want. And for all the stupid Boule people out there, nobody likes a race war. Nobody. Nothing like a civil race war. We would get jacked up as a people. We should be a lot smarter.
We don't love the Second Amendment, so we'll get jacked up.
Yeah, we're going to get jacked. We don't like each other. Can you imagine if every black... the murder rate's going through the ceiling. The more people have guns, the more they want to shoot people. Pull out guns. Go to parties, go to movies, just pull out a gun and start shooting. They've never done this to crooked cops. The Ku Klux Klan, the Nazis, bad landlords have never faced the kind of violence that are done to random black Americans by others. I am not, and we know about white on white violence, but you know what? They're white. Why do we compare ourselves to other people? If we say we're equal, we should only compare ourselves to our better selves and be careful not to be our worst selves. Instead of saying white people do this or that. That's childish. You know who does that? Racists. Niggas do this, niggas do that. We need to stop doing that. What would be our best selves?
Yeah, well, Trump, when Donald Trump, after his press conference, when he said it was a political lynching.
It was a political lynching.
A bunch of people in the comments was like, I guess now he know how black people feel.
Yes, he's learning how black people feel. Donald Trump said that in South Carolina, the Black Conservative Federation, that they're understanding him because he's going through what they go through. He gets it. He's being treated like he's black. It's wrong. It's wrong for us. It's wrong for him. It's wrong for anybody. We have to want things to be right across the board for everybody, but in particular, make certain that we get ourselves covered before we help anybody else. I think that that's reasonable. What you say?
Yeah. That's been the plight the whole time.
Yeah, to look at everybody else. So, look, it was a lynching, and we need to understand something. If they can lynch him, they can get Cori Bush, they can get Maxine Waters. There are a whole lot. They can get Al Green. There are a whole lot of people that a lot of folks love that are Democrats, that are our brothers and sisters. Bullshit. They just happen to have melanin. A lot of melanin. These people who don't do anything, who don't pay taxes, don't you realize that the government has the right to take Nancy Pelosi's little book? Don't you realize that they got a copy of that when they got Nancy Pelosi's laptop? That they know all the secrets of the people in Congress? They're holding it. They can't share that they got that book. Why do you think they came down so hard on the January 6 people? And they went after anybody that's in any way connected to going to that. They want to punish those people. They've got the family jewels. They've got to stop Trump. If he gets back in, he knows where all the bodies are buried. There are a lot of people that go to jail. Jail isn't good enough. In fact, we need to get our tax money's worth out of Guantanamo. Send all the people that want to destroy this country. Show them what they've done to people for non-violent drug offenders. Let them see what it is they've been doing to us since the 1960s. And we have to work together. But I'm going to say this. It was a lynching. All of it's a lynching. And you look at that Sammy the Seal looking dude who was screwing Fanny Clitis. He does look like a seal. You could probably get him to throw a ball. He'd probably throw it back. I mean, this was a disgrace. And that Incredible Hulk looking woman in New York. Come on. What's her name? She's macho looking. Come on.
Letitia James?
Yes, Letitia James. You've got all of these people. This is outrageous, people.
I would say this, that
and this is bigger than Trump.
If you want to align yourself with a party, I'm going to say this: when the Republicans get a hold of some of these Democrats, it's going to be hell to pay for this one.
And I want to say something to y'all. I'm doing the countdown because the Boule is in trouble. Like that play Jelly's Last Jam. What they're doing to Trump is the Boule's last jam. All good things must end. Do you think that they will eventually take away the church's tax exemption status? They should. I wish the churches paid taxes. If Jesus paid taxes, why shouldn't people that follow him? That's a corrupt thing. That's why the churches don't stand for nothing. The churches don't stand for anything because it's a bribe by not having to pay taxes on their cash. They don't speak up that much. Basically, the state says to the church, we'll let you guys grift all you want as long as you don't help the people too much. And the church preachers say, oh, I thank you, Lord, for all of his bountiful blessings. And in reality, it's a bribe from the state to not truly help the people. Mrs. Kelly was asking, I think I mentioned earlier, there are 5 black women judges that are going to be looking at Trump. And one of them had a Delta Sigma Theta, or should I say a dyke nigga hater, scarf on. I don't think it should be, I think it should be against the law for someone to wear their Greek letter affiliation in a courtroom or on their stuff. They shouldn't have any of that stuff on. I think it's outrageous.
I know somebody in the chat said earlier that he's going to get pardoned by, Trump can only be pardoned by the governor of New York.
Well, she's not going to do it. And the first initial in her name that you know she's not, right? Her name is Hochul.
Hochul, yeah. Well,
and so I don't know. It's a Hochul, someone that's close to you that's a hole. like local, hocal. I like that. I mean, just she's trash and she's racist. No, he's not going to get it from her. What needs to happen? What needs to happen is when the election comes, is Hochul up for re-election? I think she is.
Yeah, one thing that most people don't understand is that New York City is super liberal, but the rest of the state,
It's super conservative.
super conservative.
But Hochul's made a lot of people mad. If people's asked to stay home, she's out. And that Butterfly McQueen looking Adams.
Hochul got the National Guard running around New York City.
Well, they need the National Guard at the goddamn border. They wouldn't need them in New York City. Donald Trump is right.
Any questions for Dr. Short before we close
Yeah,
out?
we're gonna do more of these, but we hadn't done quite enough of these. But look, y'all, it was a lynching. This is a lynching, and by the way, they want him. One of the things that Donald Trump promised was the Platinum Plan. They didn't want black people to get anything, and that was a conspiracy between the Democratic Party and the Boule for blacks to get nothing. And since, in fact, you need to remember, everybody listening, that the Small Business Association has taken on the divine swine, the little nasty black Greeks, as the people who will make certain to end the disparity of wealth between whites and blacks. Did y'all know that? They gave the Greeks the responsibility. The Boule is in charge for things to get better for black people. Well, haven't they gotten worse? They betrayed us all. They're traitors. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to say it at the reparations speech in next month. If you act against your people in other communities and it's known, they will kill you. They'll burn your house down. They'll go after your family. I'm not recommending that, but I'm saying to you, were we a different group of people outside the United States, nobody as stupid as black Americans are. A lot of the people that we consider cool celebrities, those folks would be hanging from trees. And anybody associated with them would be scorned because they're doing things that threaten our very survival as a people. For all these sorority bitches to run around here promoting abortion, and no good people like Roland Martin promoting LGBTQ, when the AIDS rates are going through the ceiling, the syphilis rates in our community, this is treason. And other communities, it's no thought you betray the people, you die. No question. In fact, they'll give you some too. We're the only people that say you don't have to have any loyalty, respect, or accountability to your group. As long as you're making money and you got more baubles and more stuff than I do, you're okay. As long as we're materialistic, liar, chiseler frauds with no principles, no laws, no code, we're on our path to extermination. Spiritually and physically, it's coming. We're spiritually bankrupt right now. Anytime Diddy and them can rape and molest and beat and steal and drug for decades, and everybody know, and everybody's hoping that they can get to go to the party and snort pea cocaine and get screwed in the behind when they're under the influence of some drug that knocked them out. When that's the ambition, or to get into basketball so you can screw all the groupies, or get into music so you can screw all the groupies and use all the drugs, as long as degeneracy or simulating it to what we think degenerate white elites do is our goal, we're traitors to God, traitors to our ancestors, traitors to the youth, and traitors to those unborn, traitors to our sisters, brothers, everybody. We're in a path of declension and dissension against Almighty God, and we're going to pay for it. The people that you see dying each week that took those stupid ass shots, that's just the beginning of people being purged who don't have their asses together. And I repeat, because Sister Star Thompson wanted to know, yes, it's a fact. The Small Business Association is working with the Greek letter organizations to end the wealth disparity between blacks and whites. What have we
Dr.
seen
Short,
in 4 years? Not a damn thing.
angry black man got a question for you, Dr. Short. He said, what percentage of the black vote do you see Trump getting?
I see him getting up to 25%. I want to thank Brother Corbett for the contribution. Up to 25%. If he gets 30, by the way, if you look at how Biden is doing all this crazy stuff, they know the election's already over, because if you don't get 89% or more of the black vote, the Democratic Party is not competitive nationally. When you hear that Trump's got 20%, that means they're already at 80. If they can't pull more than 80% of the black voter turnout, and if the black voter turnout is low, and it will be low this year, and there's a surge in black people voting Republican, Trump is gonna steamroll Biden everywhere. And a lot of people that are mad about what happened in the Middle East, mad about the genocide in Gaza, people mad about the genocide in Sudan, mad about the genocide in Congo, mad about the genocide in Haiti, mad about the erasure genocide in America. You may get a third of black voters to go towards Trump to say fuck you to Biden. Actually, fuck you very much. And I think that that's a good gesture. Trump should be president again. Biden stole the first one. We didn't get anything out of it. He has to go. Biden has to go. We can't afford. Black people can't afford 4 more years of Biden. And I don't care. I've lost a lot of friends. Yes. In fact, if it makes y'all really mad, I'm going to wear my goddamn Trump hat just to spite the people who are still running up behind Biden, his pedophile molester ass, a man that molests his own daughter. And it's interesting, black women bitch so much about sexual harassment and abuse, and yet they're so loyal to a man that raped his own daughter. What the hell is right? I mean, you know what it is? Why a lot of sisters don't like Donald Trump? They hate seeing a man have any power or authority. You think you can recreate the world in terms of your dysfunctional whore-ass mothers? You're out of your mind. That's a subculture. No culture operates like that. I repeat, the Boule in October 2020 pledged their loyalty to Joe Biden for nothing in exchange in October 2020. And if you look all over the country and a lot of your cities and other places, your Greek letter organizations are in charge of the polls in the cities across the country. They're there to help steal or do whatever for the Democrats. What if Donald Trump and them win, and they know this? There are going to be a lot of elite black people who never gave a damn about reparations or justice or mass incarceration or fluoridated water or lead poisoning or any of this. When they get locked up, they're going to scream racism. I want to tell you something. When you hear a certain class of black people screaming racism, it's because they're losing something that they don't share with the rest of us. I like that kind of racism. In as much as you don't give a damn about us, you don't give a damn about me, you don't care. Basically, all you are is a melanated Klansman, a melanated segregationalist. Yes, Star Thompson, they do run the churches, and I want to emphasize, I'm waiting. I'm praying for you stupid-ass people, you dumb-ass bishops in the AME church. Make my day. And fruit booty the AME church. Copy the United Methodist Church, your white mother church that's just made LGBTQ normal and Jesus thinks it's cool for dudes to lick each other's assholes. Now, just within this week, I said this in the last live, 1.2 million people left the United Methodist Church this past week. 1.2 million. That church won't exist 5 to 10 years from now because, one, you have to stand for something. When you stand for something, you're going to have disagreements. You have to tell someone a rectum is not a vagina. You might be able to slide in, but I can assure you something. It's not creamy, dreamy when you slide it out. So I'm gonna say this: the AME Church is gonna vote this June, on whether to just open everything up and go total fruit booty. It's the oldest black institution in this country. It's full of Greeks and Masons. I believe, and this is why there's no outcry for the missing women, missing children, sex trafficking, porn. You know why? Because the black Greeks and Masons run everything, and they don't care about what happens to the rest of us. In fact, some of them are in on human trafficking and doing all this stuff to us. They don't care. If the AME Church copies its mother church, the Methodist Episcopal Church, and then out of that came the African Methodist Episcopal Church, they just put African. They still coons like they've always been. Look, if they make everything gay in the African Methodist Episcopal Church, that will be the death of the fake ass, sellout Luciferian black church as we've known it. And God hates the day these niggas stand in the way. In fact, I'm suspicious of whether or not, and these people are lucky, if Donald Trump wins and I can like go to someone, I'm gonna ask them for the Justice Department to find out who stole $130 million from the AME Church Retirement Fund that's never been put back. That means that that money that they stole may have been a bribe to all the bishops to support LGBTQ. So if you wonder why the money didn't have nobody's in trouble, that's probably some rainbow bribes, some homo fare or sodo fare or asshole fare. Now, so I'm almost done. Hang with. Watch the nation's oldest black organization that's dominated by Greeks and the Masons. If they dare do this, it's the beginning of the end of the boule. It's the beginning of our liberation from black Luciferians, because people will have to decide whether they want to go with Skittles or they're going to go with Jesus. And most black folks are wicked. Church, good music, good sex because the people are repressed, unlike people in the club. We're going to be confronted with the devil within ourselves. And are we going to go with righteousness in the light? Or are we going to go with wickedness in the darkness? I'm done, Brother Q. Thank you, everybody that's been watching. Thank you for all the contributions. It is appreciated.
With that, everybody, we appreciate your support. Remember, the best way to support the channel is to like, share, subscribe, get it out.
Yes.
Because our channels are being suppressed by the algorithm.
And share these with at least 50 to 100 people. We were getting at one point 2,000 people per thing. I lost 2 or 3 Facebook accounts. I got my Twitter account. They start knocking everything down. I mean, are we talking about killing someone? We talk about violence. We talk about hate. We talk about raping people. We talk about, not really. Whatever it is that we're doing, they know that you need to hear, so they're making certain that you can't hear it. You have to become agents of resistance. And y'all need to make certain that if you like this, share this with as many people as you can think of. Put it in Twitter. Bombard it. In particular, if there are people you can't stand. If you want to irk somebody, put my videos out there. I know my shit be getting pulled off certain groups. Someone lose him. Get him off. Make him stop. I've been doing this for 40 years. I'm an expert at irking boule people. I know exactly. Remember that dude with the fucked up hair that went nuts and started saying the stuff about, because you did an interview that says, I thought about this, what can I do to like set a coon off? And I said that thing because I paused. Nobody don't pause. Says, what can I do to get in the nick? I know it would be like a dumbed up book, make this dude scream out. The coon would start complaining. We have to wake people up, and it's going to be unpleasant. But share these videos. Go. I got lots of stuff. Just send it. It's not like I'm going to get rich. I don't want a yacht. I don't want a white woman a jet ski, although that sounds kind of cute in Hawaii. Send this stuff out. It's making an impact. They're not letting people who might otherwise know about this know. Share it. Put it everywhere. Instagram. Cut it up. Put it. I don't care if you make pieces of it. Put it in TikTok. Send it wherever you can, because trust me, the more it gets out, the harder it is. In fact, the Boule and them don't bother us. They're hoping we'll go away. I mean, they ignore our Professor Black. They want all. I'm not on their level, but they want us to go away. If we ever wake up our people, their asses are finished. Then you'll begin to realize the Boule is basically the black face of white supremacy. And it's not the average white person walking up and down the street that you have to worry about. It's a no-good black person who's nothing. He's worse than Joseph's brothers that sold Joseph into slavery, or the African chiefs that sold people into slavery, or the Indian chiefs that sold people. We have to stop the selling out, the trees and the traders amongst us. If we work that out, nobody would mess with us. I know you got to go. Good night. God bless. MFM, everybody. Be a coon buster. You can be a coon buster by telling the truth, standing for truth. God made man and woman, right? An asshole is in the vagina. Getting your titties cut off does not make you a dude. Getting your nuts cut off does not make you a woman. Okay? Just because you suck dick does not change your gender. Just because you munch carpet, you may get whiter teeth, but it doesn't make you a man. Let's stop playing these games. A baby abortion is murder. If black folks are upset about 20 million Africans in the slave trade, we should be concerned about the 20 million babies we've killed in this country. And I can go on and on. We should be concerned about the 300,000 blacks that we have murdered amongst one another since the 1940s, when we talk about 5,000 lynchings. White folk have done less to us than we've done to ourselves. And they hate us, and we're supposedly love. We are people of the mighty. Bullshit. we're a basket full of psychotic crabs trying to tear each other apart. And we need God to get us on track to respect and care about each other. And I want to do a special shout out to my cousin, Brother Battle, on here. Whenever you see the last name Battle, they my cousins. They are some crazy, violent black people. Very brilliant, very kind, but if you get them wrong, I'm the nice side of the family. Mr. Battle and I, his grandfather's my great uncle. I mean, these guys did a mass stabbing on racists down in North Carolina. I'm not involved. I don't like blood. And I keep saying to people, be nonviolent with everyone. Okay, everybody, no violence unless you have to save your life. But it's nice to see a family member on here. El Negro Hotep, God bless you. I appreciate all the stuff that you send me. I just appreciate you. Sister Star, Sister Devon, everybody. And to all the good white people out there, tell them, cut this racist shit out. We're going to need each other. These illegals are giving fentanyl. There's even a new type of poison drug that's in your state, Pennsylvania. Have you heard about, Brother Quentin? There were 160 overdoses. It's metronidazole or something. I can pull it up. It's metronidine. This thing is mixed with fentanyl, and almost 200 people died from it in a week. It's worse than fentanyl. That's the new thing. There's going to be mass death all over this country. People need each other. People better stop hating everybody. I would say to black folk, I would tell you to love everybody, because if you love everybody, you won't hate black people. And if white folks just, since they worship whiteness, if y'all just stop hating black people, y'all be okay. And black folks, y'all need to love everybody because y'all say y'all love everybody, but you hate being black. So if white folk hate us and we hate us and everybody else hates us, we're basically dead meat. And yes, God is real. And yeah, well, I believe in the Bible. And yes, Negroes have lost God. We better get God back. And this vicious hunger game America we're in, you better have some God on your side. Now, let me let you go. I'm sorry to preach, Brother Quentin. We're going to get up out of here. Oh, hi, Michelle N. Um, oh, he's gone. Anyway, y'all, it was a good night. We're going to do more of these. Michelle N., good night. And I want everybody to know we're going to be doing more of these. They may attack the channels. I'm not dying for the numbers. But if I can reach a few thousand, then let me reach them. So, okay, on this channel, there were 36 people. That's cool. I'm certainly more over here. Good night to everybody. Good night, love. And by the way, everybody, we will be doing Salt Ministry. And no, I won't be using foul language because we'll be talking about God. Happy Sabbath to you. It's almost here. That's the proper day to believe in God is, and do God is on Sabbath. Sunday is some white supremacist stuff. And it's interesting, whatever bad white people do, we copy it, and yet we complain about white people. We're just like them. Seems like we should be able to get along with ourselves. Since we act like white people, we like white people, then it seems like we should like each other. I know that's complicated. Oh, look at this is one of my favorite lady friends from Chicago. Hey, Jan, give me a call. Treat me like a white man and call me. I've known Jan for a long time. Queen Nefertari. Hi, you should come in the StreamYard. One of the favorite sisters, one of the greatest ones. You're supposed to come on Wasi Speaks, Jan. There's no excuse. Okay. I'm going to say white woman and good night to you, black men, and white man and good night to you, black women. May your interracial relationships with yachts and mansions and diamonds and rubies and stocks and bonds and treasuries, since, black men are denied that. And for you black men, just hook up with whatever Karen you can, whether they do or don't have teeth, whether they're in shape or not. And maybe you'll luck out with kids with green eyes or blue eyes and lots of woolly hair that their mother won't know how to groom. Until then, and someone has Joe Biden. All right. And thank you, Mrs. Kelly. Thank you, Mrs. Kelly. We're going to turn it out tomorrow. All right. So we'll be doing this about, 2 o'clock, 2:30? We're going to be talking about oppression and racism. Oh, yes, I'm going to do give white folks a difficult time in Jesus' name. For all the folks who can't handle me going hard on black folks and their wickedness, and there's plenty of it. And don't worry, we're coming back to black folks. We're going to talk about black people and STDs. We're becoming incredibly nasty people. Anything like this, we would be on our way to destruction anyway. Stop hating other people and start hating sin and wickedness amongst us. Aspire to be your better selves. May God bless and keep you. May his face shine upon you and give you peace. Don't be gay. Don't hook up with the boule. Good night. Bye-bye. Bye, DeAndre.